Nice. Well, Kat, I'm glad I could get you on the podcast today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. No, so I actually found your page initially because I guess my For You page has been insane with fitness and high rocks and marathons.
Yeah,
Once you do a
absolutely.
little bit of it, just that algorithm just goes
Yeah, you can't
kind
stay
of
away.
insane.
Yep, it's a
Oh
trap.
yeah. And then so actually the video that you popped up for was this is Cat or like
Oh, yeah, my little intro video.
yeah, that one. I was like,
Yeah.
this is kind of good. And I clicked, I go, oh, this is gonna be really cool. I go like that. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah, so that algorithm works for something for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to the algorithm.
Yeah, it works, right? No, yeah. But then I did notice that like you had kind of like a deeper story than most, to be honest with you. Like I was looking, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this is really cool. Because now you've done what you've done a half marathon, right? And you're training for a new Halloween one, I
Yep.
saw, right?
Yeah, so I did my first half marathon in July. I started training for that in like March, and then I'm hooked now. So I have another half marathon on the 25th this month for Halloween, and then
Okay.
the only other like race I have planned at the moment is just a fun 5K at the beginning of
Okay.
November. But yeah.
Nice. Very fun. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember the first time I did my half marathon here in Salt Lake. It was like I had no clue if I was going to be prepared for anything. And what actually ended up happening is we took a trolley that's supposed to take you to the race area, and me and like four dudes ended up missing the race by like an hour.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that like almost happened to me seriously on the morning of my half marathon. Where we
Mhm.
started was at a bus stop, like just in the middle of the mountains in Colorado. And so there was no like specific address for it. It was just like, here's the bus stop name. And so when I Googled the bus stop name, there was multiple addresses that came up for it. And
Yeah.
so we're like driving there and we're pulling into this like campground and I'm not seeing any cars. I'm like, something's wrong. Like we are not where we're supposed to be. And seriously, like just barely made it with like 8 minutes to spare before my race started. And yeah, terrifying. But I'm kind of glad
See?
it happened that way because I feel like I wasn't able to sit in like the race day nerves because I was just like, I need
Uh,
to get there. Like that's really
Yeah, yeah,
big.
100%. I don't know if people think if they've ever done a race or anything, but people are like, oh, it's pretty organized. No, like they're told like kind of a vague spot a little bit or something, and you can get lost immediately, and that's
Oh,
exactly what happens. But I'm in the same boat. I was so relaxed and tired and just over it. I was like, forget it, dude. And then we're like, that's it. And then
yeah.
they were already cleaning up. There were shirts on the floor already from people just changing, in the mid race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what initially kind of like sparked it? Like, why did you kind of start running some half marathons? And you seem to really enjoy it. Like you said, you have some booked out. So kind of what was the background? Why did you start getting into
Yeah.
the races anyways?
So I've been in and out of recovery for the last 5 years, and for the third time got sober last year, and it was actually in July of 2024. And I got out of rehab, and it was just like nothing really had changed. Like I had moved to Minnesota and I had done some other things like differently this time, but it just still felt like I was still living in the same habits of just like, okay, wake up, go to work, get home, get on the couch, scroll on my phone, go to bed, get up and do it all over again.
Monotony.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was also like I kind of started like filling that void with food, and I gained a bunch of weight within like the past 2 years. So it was like over a course of amount of time, but then it really started to like pick up after I left treatment last year. And so just personally, I was like, okay, I really want to do something about this. And so I actually just started lifting in the gym, and I worked with a
Oh, nice.
trainer and a nutritionist and like locked in on my nutrition and really started to fall in love with just like movement in general. And I would say that I wasn't crazy into lifting, but I would spend like a portion of my time at the gym just doing like a small section of lifting, and then I would spend the majority of my time actually just walking on the treadmill.
Okay.
And so I like fell in love with incline walks. And then in, I would say, February, it was like, okay, I'm gonna try and run a little bit on the treadmill and just see what happens. And when I started, it was like, God, it's hard to run 3/4 of a mile. And I remember the first time I ran 4 miles on the treadmill, it was like, it felt like I had ran a marathon, right? It
Yeah.
was like that type of accomplishment. Um, and so I think I've just really fallen in love with like how much running challenges me. And um, I like feel totally in control of my mind because it is such a mind game.
Mm,
And so that was the thing that I loved. And I am able to like really feel like a badass at the end of it. So
yeah.
um, at the, yeah, in March, I would say like I just started to get serious about it and was like, okay, I can run a mile now without stopping. So let's
Yes.
go full-fledged into a half marathon. And so started looking for a half marathon around March and found one in Colorado, which is my home state, and it was 4 days before my year of sobriety anniversary. So I was like, okay, serendipity. So I just, yeah, signed up for it. I was like, okay, well, we're gonna do it. I know it's in Colorado and I am not training in elevation, but we are gonna just send it.
Just
So
gonna send it.
yeah, and yeah, I've just fallen in love with it. So
That's awesome. You know, it's funny because I've been told this about running where it's very monotonous, right? But you were just saying how monotony was almost killing you, and how it's kind of like a mind game, right? Like you're,
yeah,
uh, so
yeah,
you
and
know,
like some runs can be so boring and monotonous, and especially like if you go on the same route a lot or listen to the same music, I feel like. But I think that with running, like it can be so unpredictable. Like you can go out and think you're gonna have a really great run and then get 2 miles in and be like, oh my God, I'm dying. And I think that the fun part is getting to break through those walls with yourself and at the end of it be like, oh wow, okay, I did that and I can do that again.
yeah,
Um, and so I like that. I think it's fun.
yeah. Well, it's cool because yes, it is monotony because I do running too, and it takes me. I always say it takes me a solid 2 weeks to get to enjoy running. But in the monotony, it really does challenge your mental game because
Yep.
there's monotony in your schedule and there's monotony on the couch and your movies and your music, right? So those are weird monotonous comfort things, but it's kind of cool that your mental game was able to elevate and kind of thrive in the monotony of running,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
think
So,
that's such a great point because in like getting sober, something that I have always been horrible at is being okay with boredom. Like, how can I sit in my boredom?
oh yeah.
And you do that with running. Like, I
Yeah.
did that on like an 11-mile run not too long ago where it was like, this is like kind of boring, but I'm 6 miles away from my house, so like I gotta get back there somehow.
I'd rather run back
And
home than walk. So,
exactly. And so I think it's just like kind of figuring out what to do with your circumstances and how to sit in it. So like in those moments where it really sucks, like I think I've really come to learn how to be be comfortable in the uncomfortable, you know?
I mean, absolutely, I agree. So, did you like growing up? Did you do any kind of like sports? Did you run? Did you have like an athletic background a little bit, or is this kind of like something new you got into?
Yeah, it's actually really funny. I was thinking about this recently. I did do like a little bit of country growing up.
Yeah.
My mom was like our coach like in elementary school, so very not serious, but I did
Okay.
not take it seriously whatsoever, and I would like walk the track meets and stuff. So like, yeah,
Oh man.
my mom did not love that, but I did play soccer growing up
Okay. Very
for
nice.
gosh, like over 10 years for sure. But yeah, played soccer growing up and
That's insane
absolutely loved
cardio.
it. And I mean, there's a lot of running in soccer, but I think I was able to like kind of push that side of it out because I liked the soccer side of things rather than the running side. So
Absolutely. Yeah. So you said how many, this is your third, fourth, fifth time trying to be sober, right? Being
gosh,
sober?
I like gotta count. It's been like too many times. But
Okay,
so I
gotcha.
first got sober in 2020. Went to treatment, and out of that first treatment, was sober for 2 years, and then um, I, like had a quick relapse. Went back to treatment. Kind of knew that time that I was gonna relapse. I just didn't really know when. I was kind of like getting sober again to appease the people around me.
Okay.
And so got sober then, was only sober for a couple months, relapsed again for 9 months, got sober again, so that's three, and then was sober for a little over 8 months that time, relapsed, and then went back to treatment in July of 2024.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I feel entirely different about my
Awesome.
recovery today than I did 2 years ago. So.
Nice. So what is the your support system kind of look like? Like, because I do notice actually a lot more people in general are starting to kind of go more sober. To be honest with you, even
It's
like
popular
it's
now.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
even when I go out like in Salt Lake, like there's you just don't see a whole lot of people just getting drunk and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Even like people I know, they're kind of dialing back. Me myself, I never really had an issue with alcohol, but even then, like doing all this fitness stuff and just things like that. I'm like, I'm kind of taken away at that. Like, I can't be trying to be hell. Yeah, I can't. It bloods my stomach a little bit, so like, I just crack like sparkling waters now, like the liquid deaths and stuff like that. Like, those are
Yeah.
yeah, So, what did that look like for you as far as like support? Would you say it was more yourself, or how does that kind of look for you?
So that's a really good question. I would say I do have a really solid support system. I would say my biggest support 100% is my dad. He like
Shout out,
if I
Dad.
talk too much about it, I will cry. He has been there for me
Love
for
it.
everything, and there's not a doubt in my mind that there's literally nothing I could do that would make him like turn on me and not support me again. So I'm very like so thankful to have my dad in my life. And then on top of that, yeah, I have my stepmom, my little brother. I mean, all of my brothers really, but and like I live with my brother and my sister-in-law here, and they like took me in last year and have put a roof over my head and really like allowed me to get my feet on the ground again and friends. So I have an incredible
Awesome.
support system. But I think yeah, what you kind of pointed out at the end there, like myself, I think is the biggest difference this time because I mean, throughout the past 5 years, I've had this support system in front of me. I think that I just never really utilized it, and then also didn't give myself the validation and support that I needed from myself to let myself know like hey you're doing a good job because there's going to be a point where well there was many points where I hit like the messy middle as they call it where it's like okay you've been doing a good job people were telling you that you were doing a good job and
Mhm.
now it's like okay now you're not hearing it now things
Ah,
are kind of slowing down now you're like in this routine and it's kind of boring like so now how are you going to approach that like are you going to continue and lean into it and like give yourself what you need and that support or are you just going to push back and say well no one's telling me I'm doing a good job anymore so I'm going to stop doing a good job.
yeah.
And so I think like being there for myself this time has been such a game changer.
Wow, that's a big kind of thing you said is where after the applause and after the main support is kind of gone, you do only have yourself. It's
Mhm.
like that just that common saying where it says like nobody cares, work harder, that thing.
Mhm.
And it kind of fits in that scenario because in the end, like I can tell you all my problems, you can see me suffer, right? But when you go home you have your whole other life and all your other responsibilities to deal with. You're not actively always thinking about me and like checking, like there's always going to
Yeah.
be, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 or an hour, point in the day where you are by yourself, like mentally.
Yep.
Um, so
Yeah.
I could see from that point that you said where it has to be 100% like an internal decision. And that goes for obviously anything, for losing weight, for getting sober, like getting a new job, quitting your job, literally anything like starts with you after the applause or the encouragement, or everyone's so tied to getting advice from people. Should I, and after you can only talk to so many people, it kind of, um,
Yeah. I think I had like really lost confidence in myself and just like my ability to make decisions. And
mm,
so I think, yeah, that's like super powerful because there was times where I would go to um, like sober support meetings or AA meetings, and like I would say, "Oh, I'm having feelings of like drinking and blah blah blah," and like people could tell me all the best things in the world, and also tell me all of the horrible bad things that are going to happen to me if I drink again.
yeah.
But like none of that matters if I'm not the one that's going to tell myself, "Cat, you can't do that," or "Cat, here's why you shouldn't do that." Um,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I can hear all of the great things and all of the bad things from whoever else, but like none of that is really going to hold any weight until I'm the one saying it to myself.
No, yeah, absolutely. So would you say your habits in comparison to a year ago have shifted? And what are some habits and you like things that you found to help you? Like, yes, like you run, but like when you're not always doing a race or training, there's like, 20 hours else in the day, So what are some habits you've found to help you consistently train, but also, in your journey of being sober have helped that journey as well?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like it really started the first time I got sober. Um because it was like when I first went to rehab, it was like, okay, I'm showering once a week, not brushing my teeth, not brushing my hair, like just not taking care of myself whatsoever. Um, so then you go to rehab or treatment, whatever you want to call it, and you learn to basically take care of yourself again, you know? So it's like,
Mhm.
okay, you got to get out of bed at 7 o'clock in the morning. You got to make your bed. And those like
Roots.
little habits were huge for me. So I make my bed every single day. I make sure that I brush my teeth, I brush my hair. Like those basic things, building a foundation was so important for me. Because
Mhm.
like no one's going to be able to go from not being able to get out of bed in the morning to getting up every day and running 5 miles. Like that's not realistic. That's not going to happen. It's not attainable. And so, having that foundation and then building up to it. So, like habit stacking and making little
Mhm.
promises to myself that I could actually keep was important. So I would say, yeah, a year ago, I wasn't even going, I had gotten my gym membership last October. And so yeah, I had already had that foundation of like, okay, I'm taking care of myself. I'm buying groceries, I'm making myself dinner, I'm keeping up with my dishes. Like I then it was like, okay, let's add something else into the mix. Let's go to the gym now. And then it was like, okay, how can I just not what am I doing in the gym? I just need to consistently show up in the gym. And then it was like, okay, now that I'm doing that, let's get a trainer and let's start consistently lifting. Um, and now it's just like habit for me to show up and be there for
Yeah,
myself because I know that if I don't, I'm going to be mad at myself for not keeping the promise that I made to myself to be there and show up, you know? So
absolutely.
there's no other commitment in my life that's more important to me right now than being there for myself, honestly.
That's awesome. It definitely sounds like um going from not being able to get out of bed to learning how to micro habit stack
Oh, yeah.
100%. And I heard this, I don't remember from where, but it was saying like give yourself a habit or something you can do, like a small achievement, right? Like
Mhm.
let's shower. That's it. Like
Yep.
let's not overwhelm. Let's not go say like cool, then we're gonna shower, then we're gonna go to the store, like, right? Because then you just overload your mind in a way. Um, and I even like on this end, you like I find that to be true as well. And hearing where you were, it is like hearing it for myself now. Like, I can watch the videos, but really hearing it, like how deep, and I'm sure you were depressed at moments, and I um don't know how else that could have been brought to fruition on where you were if you didn't do those micro habit of achievements, because it's like small
Mhm.
awards, like a small thing you can do, and now like you're killing it. And like you said, it's kind of ingrained in your routine, and I think creating that routine and habit is probably the most difficult part for anybody
Yeah.
trying to do anything.
And I think it's important too to note that like I'm not at all perfect in this at all either. Like there are days where I don't get out of bed. Like really.
Yeah.
am like and I think that it's so important to remember that like your best is always going to look different day to day. So like showing up in your best way how you can that day is important. So like yeah, there's on after I run a Saturday long run, sometimes on a Sunday, no, I don't want to get up and do anything. I'm gonna have 12 hours of screen time and like that's been my day. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get out of bed, I'm gonna make my bed, I'm gonna change my clothes, and I'm gonna feel nice and do something nice for myself still. But that's my best that day, you know? So like it doesn't always have to be at the same 100%. Like your
Mm.
100% levels are going to switch and move around all the time. But like you just always have to give that 100.
I actually just heard that exact phrase you said probably 2 months ago. I was talking to a coworker, and I was like, I'm a little beaten up today. I'm a little beaten up. Like I didn't, maybe I didn't sleep the greatest, overtrained, so I didn't
Mhm.
recover right. So I was like, and she goes, "That's okay." She goes, "Your 100% looks different every day." I go, and I guess because I've never heard that, I've always heard like balls to the wall, like just
Yeah,
all just go 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 go. So that's usually my mentality. And I was like, I go,
it's
oh
life changing.
yeah, I just didn't think about it because it is true. Like I can't help, and I can't go back in time if I didn't sleep that great.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
I can't do anything about it if your mind is not shutting off, or like you just got to meal prepping and everything too late into the end of the night, and you can't go back, but you can at least still show up and do your best. And like you said, that's gonna look at levels, and that's probably the most beneficial thing I have learned is like, dang it, I didn't lift this or I didn't do what I normally would do. Like one time I was significantly slower on like my 6 miles that I'll do, and I was like,
Mhm.
"What is going on?" And it's like, "Hey, it's cool, man. You ran, and
It's all about showing up.
yeah, just show up again." And I think that was part of a book. It's like "Lead from the Middle" or "Leading from the Middle," something like
I
that.
feel like I might have heard
I'll
something.
look it up. I'll try and find it. If I find it, I'll send it to you.
Cool, sounds good.
Nice. But yeah, so after that, what would you say? Um, with pursuing these races, what's something you hope to kind of like look into and maybe like achieve long term, because you're putting out some really cool content. I think, like I said, I even found your page and I really enjoyed your story. Like, you
Yo.
know what do you have some what are your like short term and maybe long term goals?
Gosh. So when I started this page, it was like, okay, I want to just share, running and like have it be kind of a way for me to like be consistent and track like what I'm doing. And I don't know, like it's definitely turning into something that I didn't think that it would. And or I guess like I had hoped that it would. I have always really been like a creative person, and so I think that this is an incredible creative space for me. Um,
Sure.
and so I'd like to, I guess like my main goal with the page too was just to like if I can inspire one person, like that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
And I when I first got sober, the like deciding factor, like the push for me to finally ask for help was a TikTok video that I saw of a girl that had
Really?
documented her first 10 days of sobriety. Um, And so that really sticks with me because it's like that I don't know that girl's name. I remember her face, but like I
Mhm.
don't know her handle. Like I don't and she genuinely changed my life. Like a stranger that I
What
do
was
not
it
know.
specifically? Like
She
what
it
was
was just like today's my first day sober. That's it. And then she would
mm,
record the next day, today's my second day sober. That's it. Today's my fifth day sober. Like, and just 5 days in, it's like, you look like a different person. You sound like a different person. Like,
mm,
and it was just like so powerful for me that it was like, I want that in my life. Like, I'm so tired of waking up every day sick and tired. And it was a simple, yeah, 30-second video of some girl that I don't know that like has changed my life. Like I would not be sitting where I am today had I not seen that video. I mean, maybe I would, but in a totally different way, right?
yeah.
So it's like I think it's so powerful what you can get out of social media and what you can share. And I think that my main goal is to just inspire people and inspire people to get up and do something different or do something that they've never tried or um, kind of get out of like the rut that they feel like they're in and know that like they're not alone. And I would love to do something bigger with my content and like especially really give back to like the recovery community.
Yeah.
Because I feel so passionate in that area. I have so much love for anyone that has struggled with addiction or loves someone that struggles with addiction. And so I would love to do something with that further down the road. But yeah, right now I think the main goal is just to continue having fun with it and
You
like
look like you're having loads of
I'm
fun.
having so much fun.
Yeah. You look like you have way more fun than I have in my videos.
No, yeah, I really
Yeah.
do have a genuinely great time creating my videos. So I think, yeah, the day the fun stops, like I stop because I don't wanna do anything inauthentic, first of all, and I don't want to do anything that isn't like filling my cup. And this is absolutely filling my cup. So,
Awesome. I love that. That's
yeah.
definitely well said. And I just so you know, on this end of things, I'm watching your videos. I go, she's clearly upbeat. Like you could just tell, like so it does relay through the videos. Just so
Awesome.
you know, from an objective person, like
Glad to hear it. Thank
yeah,
you.
it does radiate over. And it's cool because I had people ask, because they're like, I know you have a podcast booked, right? I go, yeah, I won't say anything probably till the day of. And then I said it verbally after I posted your video of your 1 year. They're like,
Mhm.
dude, that's so like, dang, like, were you gonna ask her? I'm like, I already got it. Like, I just wanna, uh, find out her story, man, and just because she seems so genuine, she has like a really cool, like purpose. I could tell, like that was clearly your goal and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
it definitely radiates genuineness across
Love
your
that.
videos for
Thank
sure.
you. Yeah. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
that.
yeah, I definitely can see you definitely achieving those goals, and I definitely view, especially with like social media, and then like as far as running and stuff like that, what would you say is your next like obstacle? What would you like to achieve when it comes to your
Yeah.
fitness goal?
Oh God. Okay, we're putting it out in the on the internet, so like it's
Right.
gonna happen.
Oh,
I
that's
I don't
right.
know
That's
what
right.
one yet, but I am gonna sign up for a marathon
There we go.
after this half. So I don't know which one
Very
yet,
awesome.
but
Okay.
we're gonna pick one. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay. And then if you had to say um more of a mental goal for you, what's something like internally mentally you would love to see yourself kind of develop or, achieve?
That's a good question. And honestly, I feel like my biggest thing that I struggled with my whole life was like validation and seeking for it elsewhere. People, places, things. Like I wanted anything and everything else to make me happy because I'm not making myself happy.
Mm.
Um and I think that I'm again not perfect at it, but I have certainly gotten to the point where I'm not seeking happiness outside of anything other than myself and what I'm doing. Um, but also just, yeah, the validation of just like I said at the beginning, like running makes me feel like a badass, and like I every time I finish a run, I'm like, you little badass,
Yeah,
like
that's right. That's
yeah,
right.
so I just feel like I struggled with that for so long, and I seeked that from other people and other things for forever. And yeah, that's like my main focus right now is just to continue to validate myself and be there for myself. So,
Awesome. That's great. I love to hear. I'd love to ask questions like that, just because it's a little deeper. It's like just like your physical, mental goals. It's because they all go hand in hand. And I feel like being able to profess it externally out there, I feel like it's
oh
more
yeah,
gripping.
putting it out in the world. I think also if we're talking like something I guess I want to work on,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely.
is so I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and I did short share something on my story about this recently. It's called the glass box theory. So
I feel
it's
like I
where
might have. You go
where
for it.
you put, well, scientists or whatever put a bunch of grasshoppers into like a glass box, and then they put a lid on the box, and all the grasshoppers try to jump out. And eventually the grasshoppers stop trying to jump, and then when they take the lid off, they don't even try to jump out anymore because they have told themselves in their head now, I can't jump, so I'm not going to try. And so I think there's quite a few glass boxes I have put myself in. The marathon box, where it's just like, I can't do that. And
I bet.
so trying not to use the word can't, because since running especially, like I've continued to prove to myself over and over again that there are many things that I can do that I did not think I could before. So,
Mm, awesome.
yeah.
Nice. Well, I love to hear it. And that's kind of the point of the podcast. At the bottom of the YouTube page, it says grow, elevate, and move, or
Yep.
move, grow, elevate, and you're clearly working on all those and you're even achieving a lot of those. And I'm going to be supporting you all the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be, checking you on the updates, stuff like that. And I know 100% like your story and your goals and, um, just your like I said, your genuineness will always radiate, and I think people will be very receptive to that. So i
Sweet.
think i
Thank
think you
you.
got yeah, I think you got awesome stuff coming towards you, and I'm super grateful. I'm really glad that you were able to kind of share your story with me, and I already know it's going to impact somebody in some way.
Awesome.
So thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much for reaching out to me. This was an awesome, awesome conversation, and super
Great.
excited to
That makes
see.
me feel great. That makes me
Yeah,
feel so
it was seriously, yeah, wonderful to talk to you, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you
good.
so much for
Nice.
having
Thank
me.
you. Absolutely. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll wrap up the podcast. I'll stop it and
Cool.
then just linger, and I think we should still be able to talk through this. Hold on.
Okay, so